Well, I hope you're ready, because it's go time! Today, in the Clash Royale League Europe, St. Bellican, Soking, and the mighty team Queso aim to secure their spot at the top of the standings. In their way, Dion, Lemon Tea, and a Fnatic team are hungry for their first win. Let the battle commence!
Hello and welcome to Clash Royale League. I'm Rich Slayton. Joining me is Inverum, aka Paul Toddkill, to talk you through the action in Week 3 of the European region.
The European region has had some amazing games so far, but we're not done yet with some awesome orgs like Misfits and Dignitas.
Each team will play each other twice. The 4 teams with the best records go to the playoffs. The winner of that represents Europe in the World Finals.
And of course, you can catch all the action right here on the Clash Royale League Esports YouTube channel. You can also go to esports.clashroyale.com to check out more information there. And of course, we have the new esports tab in the app where you can keep up to date with all the amazing CRL action.
For 2 teams, the journey continues today. Team Queso and Fnatic.
Ooh, Team Queso going up against Fnatic. Fnatic, of course, Dion, Lemon Tea, Asuchini, some powerhouses here, some rising stars from the EU Combine, going up against maybe some more veteran players like Soking, Benihoo, St. Bellican.
St. Bellican, the standout from last time. Really a fantastic player making his name on the stage right now. But before we get to the action, our friend Christy St. John is standing by with one of Team Queso's new stars, Kuchiku, and his coach, Termisfa.
Thanks, guys. So, Kuchiku, first question. I see your corazon right here. Yeah. Can you tell me who that's for? Can you tell me what that's about?
A ver, ¿Condes? Es un recuerdo que traigo desde casa y la verdad es que tengo mucha suerte ya que ha podido venir hasta aquí para verme. Oye, ¿dónde están?
It's a reminder from her girlfriend that he brought from home, and he's very lucky because she came here to see him as well.
Can you feel the love in the room? I can. Well, let's see it. I'm excited. Back to you guys.
Love is in the air all the way from the country of Spain. We're going to see some action very soon, but first, let's go over our match format.
Of course, it all starts off with our card bans. Each of these sets will have their own unique card bans. We start in the 2v2 format, progressing to 1v1, the classic, and if we need it in our ace match, our King of the Hill, that epic tiebreaker.
King of the Hill, of course, we don't know those lineups yet until we need them, but we will find out the lineups for 2v2 and 1v1 when we take a look inside the war room.
I think they're both going to play tank-style decks, maybe double tanks, Lava Hound, Golem. We might see Golem Balloon. With Valkyrie out, I think Bomber is a really OP card. Is there anything you guys think we should be looking out for when going up against these two in 2v2?
I like the Bomber idea, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
awesome.
I think with Valkyrie out, that basically hard counters that card. So basically, I think you should both have it in their decks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're considering if we win the first set, maybe we switch to log bait, try and throw them off their game, and we go from there. We have a few decks in reserve, so I think we're ready to go.
And for the 1v1, you know the bans are Fireball and Valkyrie. Para el 1 contra 1, Bola y Valkyria. ¿Qué tienes pensado?
En estos bans yo creo que está bastante fuerte el trío con Hoggies o bait de bola, entonces yo creo que voy a iniciar con un P.K. para intentar sacar algún mirror o algo así.
Mucho cuidado con su deck este de P.K. Horno porque lo veo muy probable, así que todo lo que lleves que vaya bien contra eso, porque viendo estos bans es lo más probable.
The teams have plotted for victory and to avoid taking the L. Now, the dynamic duos will enter the arena for an epic 2v2 showdown. Let's battle!
The players are on their way to the arena for this 2v2 set between Fnatic and Team Queso.
Let's talk about Fnatic, Asuchini, and Lemon Tea making some slight shifts to who's playing the 2v2 here. That's interesting, seeing how Fnatic are looking to switch things up in this matchup. Going up against St. Bellican and Soking, another change here from Team Queso.
Team Queso, even though they won, making some changes, showing a lot of confidence in their roster. You say if it ain't broke, don't fix it, they'll fix it anyway.
Well, they're going to look to keep experimenting, and that's the thing. We're still here at the start of the season, so we'll see how that plays out. Valkyrie and Tornado ban. Tornado a staple here in 2v2, but seeing a Valk ban, what could that mean?
Well, that's interesting, although we have seen Royal Hogs making an appearance in 2v2, especially in split lane pushes, so they could be thinking about throwing those on the board.
I really like this ban here. You know, anything to deny that really strong Royal Hog right now. We'll see if Fnatic can do it off of Team Queso's hot streak.
And here we go, 2v2 on its way.
All right, let's get into game number 1, set number 1. The 2v2 is underway. Both of these teams looking to get out to an early lead here, establish some dominance. Team Queso coming off of the win. They've got to be feeling relatively confident going into this. Again, making those roster changes off of the win. We'll see how Fnatic fares in this matchup right now, trying some new things, experimenting.
Both teams going with pretty big pushes early on. The Golem down the right-hand side for Team Queso. Fnatic doing Lava Loon on the left.
Lava Loon here coming out, can have a lot of damage in the air. The Hunter and the Inferno Dragon to clean this up. We have Golem and Balloon on the right now for Team Queso. The Golemites are getting down onto the tower. The Lightning to clean that up. Great hold there from Fnatic.
But they did get the bomb damage, the death damage on the right-hand tower. Fnatic now down to 1897.
1897, and a little bit of a light lock there with that Inferno Dragon on the left. Going to be chipping away now at these towers. Both of these teams, the opening salvo, we like to say. So we've seen the Golem, we've seen the Lava Hound, the big tanks have made an appearance. And we're actually seeing a bit of a hold coming in now. Neither side wanting to overcommitting here. And I really like this play. A little more passive, a little more conservative.
Well, I want to go back to seeing that the balloon behind the Golem. Not a combination you usually see in 1v1 because it's so expensive, but here at 2v2, you have the elixir to play and make some different combinations.
You've got 20 elixir, 16 cards. The possibilities are almost endless. All the permutations that you can pull out right now. We do have the cannon cart here, another staple of 2v2 combined with the poison, looking to clean that up. And look at the timing, knocking that right on down for the Golem to take the swing.
As we approach double elixir time, Team Queso ahead with the right-hand tower down to 1584. Fnatic doing some small damage on both towers of Team Queso.
We're going to be following up with the Miner, with the Golemites here as well. Just chipping it down, keeping up that pressure. Soaking is known for his aggressive play, and I think we're seeing that characterized here.
Looks like we're gearing up for another big push from Fnatic, and there we go, the Lava Hound is down, and we see the Balloon following.
We have the bat slowly starting to chip away. The Hunter as well with the poison. What a solid hold so far up right now from Team Queso, already shredding this push.
I love seeing the Hunter in 2v2 with so many big cards pushing through. That's where it really shines. You can take some troops out from behind, but once they get up in front of you, bam. Those so many shots do so much damage.
It's got such a wide arc. It's just able to just find so many enemy units in these situations, as we do see the chip continuing here. I think that's pretty much going to be all she wrote. Team Queso looking in a solid position right now, heading into overtime. A few more spells will take that down. There's the Miner, there's the Fireball. I think that's going to be it.
Team Queso taking the first game of set number 1, 2v2. Soaking and St. Bellican making it kind of look easy.
Well, I mean, traditionally what we've seen, St. Bellican can play a little bit more conservative, a little bit more defensive, and Soaking likes to play that aggressive role. You put them together, you've got somebody who's super strong on defense, somebody who's super strong on offense, which means that they always looked comfortable in these scenarios. There's never a moment where they didn't look like they looked like they were out of cycle. There's never a moment they looked out of control. Constantly allocating exactly the right amount of elixir, the right amount of resources to these pushes.
Okay, taking a look at these stats here, we see more spells played, almost a little over double from Team Queso, indicating a bit more aggression. That's what we saw here.
When the poison coming out, such a big part of this. Every single time Fnatic tried to rally, tried to put a big push together, the poison was there to back it up. I think that's absolutely huge. I mean, there's clumping all these units together, you're getting that mass AoE damage. That's really where Team Queso is going to thrive.
One thing interesting to note here, Team Queso going with some unusual combinations, Golem with the Balloon, not something you see all the time. But then you have Fnatic playing a more traditional 1v1 style setup in 2v2, and maybe that innovation is what's giving Team Queso the edge.
Well, we're going to see if it's going to continue here in game number 2. Let's get into the action.
And here we go. Reminder, Team Queso at the top of your screen, Fnatic at the bottom.
If Team Queso takes this, they will take the set 2-0. Fnatic needs to come back here, tie it up, take us to game number 3, and mirror match openings to start this off.
Lava Hound followed by the Inferno Dragon, about to crash together right at the river. Not much separating in the early moments from styles.
We're seeing very similar openings from both squads right now. Spells raining down from above as well. A slightly favorable trade now for Fnatic. Well, it's going to get cleaned up here pretty quick, but overall, very similar openings, very similar techniques. We do have an interesting push coming out right now. The Lumberjack taking a lot of pressure here. The Balloon, beautiful pull though with that Tombstone.
It was a great push with the place with the Tombstone, but the Balloon is going to get the first bomb down. That is huge. Early on, the right-hand tower for Fnatic down to 1263.
I'm watching that Lumberjack going in, clearing the way for that Balloon taking the aggro, but the additional part of that, of course, is that it's going to drop that Rage. And that was absolutely pivotal to not only cleaning up that Tombstone, but then pushing in the Balloon. Now we are seeing, though, Fnatic with the counter push right now in the back. The bats are there, instantly cleaned up by the Zap. This is a solid counter from Fnatic.
A much better opening for Fnatic this time around, getting that tower down to 1730 as we approach the halfway point in regulation time.
Now, of course, we do have the Tornado bans, and I think this is definitely going to be part of the reason why we're seeing more of these heavy air pushes right now. Tornado able to disrupt that so well, bring that back with those big combo cards, shut that down. You can allocate more resources here to getting those sneaky side pushes when you don't have to worry about Tornado activating that King Tower.
Interesting talking about bans. The Valkyrie ban from Fnatic really having no effect on gameplay so far, as this has been an aerial battle.
This has been a truly aerial battle indeed. The bats here to follow up, back this up, but look, the balloons are coming through on both sides. Will the balloon connect? It does! That is going to be the tower going down, and a beautiful cleanup on the right-hand side. This is a massive advantage for Team Queso right now, able to just squeeze right on through with that balloon right there and find the connection.
Really shocking, that balloon making it all the way to the tower. It was down to its last legs and somehow got not just the death damage, but the actual bomb drop. And now with just about 30 seconds left, Fnatic's looking for some way to stay in this 2v2 match.
They need to make something happen right now. The push is coming in, the Lava Loon, the Cannon Cart to follow up. The Inferno Dragon is absolutely shredding it, and the Poison once again. By the time they cross the bridge, they have almost no HP to work with. Easily shutting this down is Team Queso. Only 15 seconds left on the clock. They're already starting to chip away at this left Princess Tower as well. This is absolutely crucial. Beautiful timing as well on that Lumberjack, not allowing that Miner to get value.
That's going to be it. Team Queso, St. Pelican, and So King taking the first set for their squad.
2-0, crisp, clean. I wish I was talking as well as they were playing. Crisp, clean play coming in so far from Team Queso, looking oh so confident in this matchup. Really, there's never one where they felt flustered. Fnatic just didn't feel in control of that series.
Well, the big difference in this game in particular was the way they used the balloon. Notice here, Team Queso using the Lumberjack to get rid of that Tombstone so the balloon can get onto the tower. On the opposite side of the field, you didn't see the same thing happen in those closing seconds from Fnatic. They left that Tombstone up, the balloon could not get to the tower.
Interesting here, note, it didn't really seem like less spells played for Team Queso this time, so they're able to vary and adapt their styles. It wasn't like they were crutching on those spells to get the wins. They just played solid, consistent play, and that's all they needed to take the win here. St. Pelican soaking, getting set number 1.
Do you know what time it is? No. Wait, I've got it. It's time for a 1v1 showdown. On to the arena!
Players coming to their podiums for 1v1. Fnatic fielding Dion against Team Queso's Kuchiku.
Dion coming in now, the Dutchman doing work. Again, a standout at the Combine. You know, representing, he was one of the few, or the only Dutch player actually represented at the Combine. Again, doing so well to get picked up by Fnatic across the board. Kuchiku coming in from Madrid. I know another Spanish player representing there. A lot of experience and the competitive standpoint for Kuchiku. I'm excited to see what he does here in the CRL.
Yeah, number 8 at Gamergy, number 3 at Gameopolis. Kuchiku has been in these situations before, but don't count out Dion. Experience at RPL, RCC, and representing the Netherlands.
We now look at the ban cards. Valkyrie going up against Fireball. Interesting ban here from Dion.
Well, with Valkyrie and Fireball off the board, you kind of have to expect it might be some time for Royal Hogs.
Royal Hogs are definitely going to be something I expect to see here. The way pro players, they've been able to split them, get split pressure up. They've used them in a way that we really haven't seen before. We'll see if we see it here.
And we are off. Another interesting note about the Fireball being banned. In this case, Dion really solid with the 3M pump Royal Hog combination. This might play right into his hand.
Oh, it might. I mean, we see Poison subbed in for Fireball a lot in this situation as well, but with 3M, I think it's definitely a possibility here from Dion. Kuchiku starting off with a flying machine. This could be indicative of a few different things. And the furnace now from Dion.
Flying Machine, another card that gets a little buff when Fireball's off the board. And now the Ram comes down for Kuchiku.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the Bandit coming in as well for Kuchiku right now. Standard bridge spam we're seeing with Zappies in play. Would not be surprised to see that coming out here for him. But a solid push now being able to peck as well. Yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing right now with peck bridge spam. So really standard right now for Kuchiku. I feel like there's still a little bit more of Dion's deck we'll wait to see.
And the Ice Wiz really starting to show. It looks like it's going to be that favorite deck from Dion. Or, no, the Ice Wiz, very versatile, maybe not. We'll see what he does here. But now the Bandit, and as you called it perfectly, Paul, that deck looking exactly like it played.
Yeah, this is a really strong deck in the meta right now, able to just get pressure on both sides simultaneously. We're actually seeing the Poison coming down now, just denying the Furnace, which is going to be keeping up the pressure here on this right-hand lane. There, the Zappies as well. You want to split the Zappies in the back, have them push to both different lanes, and then when they respond to some of the Zappies, you can get a Ram down to the side, a Bandit down on the other side. Watch for Kuchiku to exploit that every single time Dion tries to defend.
15:08 remaining on the right tower for Dion. So far, Kuchiku standing pretty tall on both sides.
So really don't expect to see the P.E.K.K.A coming out from Kuchiku so far unless something goes across the bridge like this. P.E.K.K.A is always going to be a defensive response from Kuchiku here. He's not really going to be looking to build too many pushes behind this, just forcing Dion to respond to this and really using this as a defensive measure.
Nice kite from Dion getting the P.E.K.K.A across the board, but also making room for the Bandit. Forced to play the Furnace to block.
Wow, and that is a huge value poison coming out from Kuchiku right now. That was not the Furnace that wanted to be dropped right now, but we are seeing the Graveyard coming in with the Cannon Cart to back this up. This is actually going to be a solid response from Dion. This is going to do a lot of work.
I should have seen this coming. Dion is a Graveyard master. This is his bread and butter, and we haven't, I don't think we've seen it yet from Dion. We saw him in 2v2, a chance in 1v1 to show it off.
Well, now we are seeing the push, the counter push now coming in from Kuchiku. The defense will need to be perfect here from Dion, and it looks like it's going to be. Wow, solid response there. That Graveyard got it did so much work there. Look at this, almost evening out the game in an instant.
As we approach sudden death overtime, we are nearly in a dead heat in the right-hand side. Kuchiku ahead on the left by about 300 hit points.
Dropping a defensive Graveyard. Graveyard is Dion right now, just stalling out that P.E.K.K.A. We are going to see the Cannon Cart shredding that down. He doesn't really want to use the Graveyard like that in this situation, but in this case, I think it was absolutely worth it. Because look at how much damage fell through the tower. Without that Graveyard, it could have been catastrophic.
And now the E-Wiz supporting the P.E.K.K.A, trying to get it across the board, clear the way. Maybe get the Battle Ram right behind all this as soon as that Cannon Cart goes down.
This game has become circles of death. Don't stand in any of them right now. In this case, you want to. If you're the Zap, you should be cleaning up those skeletons. But overall, both of these players have the potential to end the game in an instant here if they can find the opening in their opponent's armor. But we do now see the Ram getting cleaned up. Barbarians in tow, chasing across the bridge right now. But look, this is where the Poison's going to get the value. They're all going to be stopped. We're going to take down this Ice Golem. And look at how much damage that Poison does.
Right now, remember, Team Queso up one set, looking to get these games in the second set and close this thing out.
Very even set so far right now, or game I should say so far, as Dion is holding his own up against Kuchiku. The Bandit is there to clean up the Graveyard in the back, but this is still a pretty solid chance here for Dion to make something happen as he cleans up this P.E.K.K.A with ease. He's looking very solid on the defense. He just needs to convert on his offense.
And that Cannon Cart remaining on the board so long, finally getting taken off of its wheels by the Flying Machine.
That is going to be huge. The Flying Machine, you can use it in so many versatile ways in this matchup. One of the things I think we're seeing from Kuchiku that's a little bit unstandard is he's not really split pressuring as much as we're used to seeing here. I think because the threat of the Graveyard is so real from Dion, he hasn't really been able to execute his game plan like he wants to. But speaking of executing the game plan, there's the Graveyard, there's the Poison, Dion's going off.
The Graveyard Master Dion now putting his opponent just a few hit points away from losing this first game.
So very close right now, but the P.E.K.K.A is here. The Bandit is charging in as well. Can the P.E.K.K.A find the opening it needs to? The push is here right now. The Tornado to pull it back, but no, I think that might be it. That's going to be GG.
The Bandit charges to the tower, getting the win in the last moments for Kuchiku.
What a solid game, though, from both players. Either one could have taken that there. It really came down to solid defenses on both sides. Wow, what a solid play. The splash yard variation with the tornado, the ice whiz, something we're so used to seeing here. But in that last second, the ice whiz did fall, and it was just too much to deal with for Dion.
What a difficult spot to be in on that moment. So much elixir on the board for Kuchiku. Dion really didn't have much in his pocket, pulls the tornado out, but still, at that point, not enough elixir left to make a play and keep all those troops off of his tower.
One of the things here, too, is you have to talk about the poison graveyard interactions. Traditionally, you see, if somebody's going to drop a graveyard, you can just easily counter it with poison. But so often that we saw poison used offensively there in that last game. So we'll see if anything changes here in game number 2.
Game 2 on its way. Here we go. The Zappies split in the back by Kuchiku.
This is exactly standard. Now, once the response is going to come out from Dion, we will probably see a Bandit drop on the left-hand side, the Ram drop. But no, still just playing out a little bit more conservatively here is Kuchiku. Again, this is very similar to the deck that we saw Razor run on his amazing run yesterday, so we'll see if this follows up. And again, there is the combo. There's the poison, there's the graveyard, just instantly looking to do some initial damage, but cleaning that up with ease is the poison.
Kuchiku just one win away from the sweep for Team Queso, trying to give Dion a little of his own graveyard medicine.
A little of his own graveyard medicine. I love this. That's confidence right there, taking your opponent's primary winning condition and throwing it back at them. But hey, look, there's a little prediction coming in. There's some Royal Hogs.
No Fireball, no Valkyrie. Those Royal Hogs able to get to the tower and take it all the way down to 1708.
Wow, even with the Royal Ghost there to try and play defense, that was a lot of work done. So we are seeing the graveyard coming in, the Ice Golem here as well. The Eagles going to look to try and clean this up, but this is a really solid push from Kuchiku.
Dion letting that tower go down, potentially. You have to wonder if he had one of his spells and maybe his poison out of cycle at the moment, and now taking even bigger damage, giving the good game. Something is going wrong here.
Dion not really feeling this, realizing he's now insurmountable behind. The good game has been called. I think he's going to still play this out, but if his only real response is an Inferno Dragon into the Zappies, that's not a fun place to be. That is the saddest little Inferno Dragon that ever did breathe fire.
Inferno Dragon being handled by the Zappies. Kuchiku now kind of in cruise control mode, taking his time. He does not have to do anything. He can just sit back, defend, and let this game play out.
Kuchiku is going to look to close this out and take the clean sweep for Team Queso. Undefeated in this series, and that is going to be just a rough spot to be in if you're Fnatic right now. A bit of a bad spot in terms of morale, but look, I know these guys. They can definitely rally here, definitely look to come back. But again, this is not over yet, but this is a very rough spot for Dion.
37 seconds left. Dion making a push on the right-hand tower, his Mega Knight getting kited away, and a second one dropping down. Can he get one tower down and make Kuchiku make a play here?
He's going to have to make something big happen right now with 2 Mega Knights. Maybe that's the play. The Royal Hogs are here as well. This might not be over yet from Dion. He's pushing in onto the tower. The Royal Ghost there to try and defend this. The log as well, but the tower is dropping so quickly here. Dion may have said GG, but this game ain't over yet. Oops here from Kuchiku. This is the rally from Fnatic.
Dion getting back in the game, making things really interesting. Although you still have to look at just around 1,000 hit points on each one of his towers. He has to defend those perfectly over the next 3 minutes to have a chance in this match.
Dion finding an opening here in double elixir time, getting the push down that he needed. That was absolutely critical. This could actually be an interesting turnaround here. The Mega Knight coming in with the Royal Hogs as well. That is such a punishing combo.
And a little distraction here from the Tombstone, but now the poison, the Royal Hogs getting some damage on the left-hand tower. Dion making things very interesting in sudden death overtime.
But we are seeing the graveyard coming down now for Kuchiku, and as well, the poison is there. This tower is dropping so quickly. This is so hard for Dion to deal with, and no, it's just over.
And there you go, Dion getting a taste of his own medicine. Kuchiku saying, oh, you're the graveyard master? Let me show you how I play.
And with that, Team Queso takes the win. Two quick sets, that was it.
2 quick sets. They are so relaxed. I think that's how confident they felt. We've seen so many bursts of energy.
They go off. I'm like, wait, did they definitely won, right? Because the team was just so chill, so calm. Yeah, this is another
we won
for us. Oh yeah, there
okay,
you go.
Sure.
Easy peasy.
What an unbelievable performance. Again, that's now so many great works from, you have St. Belikin showing off in 2v2, but here we have the first graveyard on the right-hand side, taking that tower down, and you can see the face of Dion, little wipe of the sweat off the brow. I think at that moment he knew he was in a lot of trouble.
He knew it was. I mean, he was able to rally and execute a gorgeous push. Look at how fast that tower goes down, but just wasn't quite enough there. dead even in terms of elixir spent, but using it just a little bit better was Team Queso.
Kuchiku playing a little fast and loose with his left-hand tower there, making it really interesting for all of us in a game that seemed like it was over, but then he turned the corner, got that next graveyard poison down. Game, set, match, Team Queso.
Speaking of Team Queso, we actually have Christy St. John standing by with the winner, Kuchiku, Team Queso.
Oh my gosh, 2 amazing games, 2 close games. Were you scared at any point? Were you unsure?
Que vaya las partidas más igualadas, vaya que si estabas asustado en algún momento.
Sí, sobre todo en la segunda, porque ha habido un momento que me he precipitado, he ido por las 3 coronas, y ahí es donde me ha asustado bastante, la verdad. O sea,
Yeah, in the second game, because he thought he won, so he overcommitted a bit, and he almost lost because of that, so he got scared, but yeah, he recovered.
yeah.
Hey, maybe that love gave you a little bit of luck. A little more to the suerte.
Yes,
Something
so.
Great, back to you guys.
Thanks, Christy. Kuchiku, very impressive in his CRL debut, getting the win for Team Queso. Let's take a look at the European standings.
The whole roster for Team Queso has been doing so well to start things off, but the European region, as we know, is incredibly stacked. We have Team Queso now going up 2-0 overall in the standings, but again, we have the names like Team Liquid, G2, ALG. Actually, I just list the entire, every team's good.
Every single
Everyone.
team is good, and there is more action in the European region on its way. Next, we have Allegiance versus SK Gaming.
The Royal Pantry is stockpiled with elixir, and there's no need to wait. Let's continue with the action. SK Gaming, with their German all-star Loe, is about to throw down with Allegiance and their veteran leader Donkey Kong. Will SK get their first CRL win, or will Allegiance remain unbeaten? Only time will tell.
And another big-time matchup on its way in the European region, SK Gaming versus Allegiance.
Allegiance, of course, a team of terrifying Frenchmen, and we saw the power that this team brought to their last battle here in the CRL. Donkey Kong, the veteran, and Lupanji, of course, the EU champ, doing so much work. Okay, there's one American there, tied. He's there too.
Across from them, SK Gaming with names like Morton and Flobby, and of course, Loe, who is standing by with Christy St. John so we can get some insight into his gaming.
Thanks, guys. Loe, Lupanji dominated his first match against the Misfits. Can you tell me how you watched that, how you strategized from seeing him play?
So we all as a team watched the game. We saw which deck they played, and they played really good. And today we prepared way better than our last game, and hopefully we can win today.
Absolutely. You prepared way better. So, last question. Do you think you're going to win?
Yes.
Absolutely. And back to you guys.
Thanks, Christy. Our second match today in the European region coming up soon, but first, let's review our match format.
Of course, it all starts out with those key card bands. Each one of these sets will have their own unique sets of card bands. We start off with 2v2, the new format here for CRL. From there, we go to the 1v1, and if we need it, we will progress on to King of the Hill, our epic tiebreaker.
Of course, those lineups for King of the Hill not set unless it's necessary, but we'll soon know who's going to come out for 2v2 and 1v1 when we go inside the war rooms.
Bon, bah, je le refais pour la 3e fois. Du coup, les gars, 2v2, Morten Flobby. On connaît leur deck, on est prêts, vous avez les vôtres, vous savez quoi jouer, vous savez quoi faire. Encore une fois, vous n'oubliez pas la communication, c'est hyper important. S'il y a un petit souci, pas de souci, on enchaîne, on passe à la suite et on reste pas sur le petit souci. Dès que vous faites un truc important, type un sort ou une troupe importante, vous le dites. Comme ça, il n'y a pas de mauvaise surprise. Et vous avez vos decks de prêt, donc tout va bien se passer. Ok?
Loai, 1 versus 1.
Yeah.
You know who you are facing?
Yeah, Lupanji.
You're used to play against them as well in other competitions, right?
Yes.
We know we're happy with the bands that we made. So really the only thing that you have to do is just focus on yourself, focus on the match, go out there and do your best. That's all we ask from
Yeah,
you.
we will do that. All as a team. Okay, 1, 2, let's go. Okay. You say it. 1.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. SK Gaming!
European history is full of epic battles. Prediction? We've got another one on our hands. SK and Allegiance. The time has come for a 2v2 battle!
The lineups are set. Interesting note, both teams opting to go with the exact same 2v2 lineups as they had in their last losses.
Both these teams, they did lose the first time around in 2v2, but I like the fact that they're sticking it out. Doberman and Donkey Kong, Flobby and Morton. They're giving these teams a chance to grow, to learn, to develop even further because, of course, it's only week number 1. Interesting notes on the bans here. Poison, pretty standard, but Fireball also being denied.
With Fireball and Poison both off the board, we could expect lots of mid-level troops, a lot of 3, 4, and 5 cost stuff. But also note, the Rocket and Tornado still in play.
And that's such a huge, devastating combo. I mean, maybe it's going to prevent teams from running some of those big beatdown styles. Maybe we'll see more mid-range stuff. We're going to find out right here. So many awesome 2v2 decks, so much potential. The meta is still developing. We're about to find out here in just a second. Rich, let's get into it.
Game 1 of set 1 is underway. SK Gaming's Flobby and Morton at the top of your screen. At the bottom, Allegiance, Doberman, and Donkey Kong.
We have the Frenchmen over on ALG up against the Germans on SK Gaming. Starting out so far, fairly passive. A Magic Archer coming out and already predicting a few mid-range cards. We're seeing it here to start things off.
This game looks like a 1v1 so far with a slow pace.
It does. I mean, we are going to see that Giant Skeleton coming in. No surprises there. Getting so much value here in the 2v2 format. You've got to keep it at range, though, because if it drops that bomb on the tower, that is the single largest tower nuke in the game. 957 damage, taking it right to the face.
And that Death Bomb taking care of a lot of troops at the bridge. But oh, we see the Royal Hogs on the left-hand side with no poison and, more importantly, no Fireball on the board. They can get some more damage. The Valkyrie prevents a lot of it, though.
There's a reason the Valkyrie is used to counter the Hogs. You saw it right there. We are seeing aggressive push, though, on the right. Look at how much damage this is already taking. The freeze is there as well. The follow-up. The Inferno Tower is going to drop. Look at how much damage there is in the air.
The right-hand tower in danger, looking like it. Yes, it will drop. And again, that's the difference in 2v2. We've seen the Golem Graveyard freeze a bunch, but here we see Lava Hound Graveyard freeze.
We're just seeing a variation on the same old song and dance right now, and I like it. The freeze coming in. We call it the old Wombo combo, bringing in some more terminology here to Clash Royale. It is such a devastating combination of moves on the left-hand side. Once again, we see the Royal Hogs coming through, and no Valkyrie immediately here to deal with them.
A little support from the Magic Archer helps clear the way. The left-hand tower for SK Gaming now down to 804.
I mean, there's some sort of karma going on when the E-Wiz gets taken out by Zap right there. Something's going on in that moment. But both of these teams just deciding to back up, take a breath. I may have spoke too soon. Already we see the Royal Hogs coming in to try and take down this tower. It is getting, oh, never mind, it's gone.
We see now why Allegiance banned the Fireball. A beautiful use of Royal Hogs, getting them back in the match as we enter double elixir time.
But now it comes down to ALG to mount the defense right now. They need to stall this here. The Ice Wizard's doing a very good job. No, they're actually going to take down that Ice Wizard here, but there is the freeze once again. We are starting to see the skeletons coming out. Beautiful hold this time around, though ALG was waiting for that freeze.
Very smart play, trying to keep that Giant Skeleton away from the tower. That bomb is very close. It does not get the death damage, though.
Perfect timing on that Tornado, pulling back all those pups, dispelling that. That was a masterful hold from Allegiance right there, I must say. I was expecting to see the left tower go the same way of tower on the right-hand side, the tower number 1, I should say. But no, they were able to rally, able to hold it here, and able to do some return damage on the King Tower of SK.
Interesting note, not picking up the cannon cart on the left-hand side. Now SK's King Tower and right Princess Tower both in trouble as we enter sudden death overtime.
Beautiful hold here on the right, though, from SK. And I love the fact that SK wasn't afraid to take some damage onto that King Tower in order to build up the elixir for an effective push. They knew that tower was not going to fall. They were not going to get 3-crowned in this moment, so they decided to focus in on the win.
And the Tornado, again, not on the ban list, doing its job, but now the Graveyard starting to do some damage on the left Princess Tower, down to 1355.
Getting the freeze there is so useful just to shut down all of that defense. The tower is getting whittled away, but fairly even actually so far on both sides. The Lightning connecting there onto that Princess Tower. So we're actually looking at a fairly even matchup right now. In terms of overall total HP, ALG is in the lead, but this is still very close.
It'll be interesting to see if these Royal Hogs can do as much as they did before. I might have spoke a second too soon. I was going to say that now that they know what they're expecting, they can play defense, but that right tower down to 591, but we do see a graveyard push on the left-hand side from SK.
And there's the freeze once again as well. The Log is going to be there to look to clean that up, and that is a beautiful tornado as well. The Pups not quite as perfectly timed, though. The Pups are surviving just a little bit longer, but still Allegiance is holding on.
Just around 300 hit points separate the towers of these two teams as we have about a minute 40 seconds left in the match, or in the game.
In the game. Good placement there on that tombstone, eliminating that hog pressure. And now we see Allegiance on the back step here, as we do see once again SK going in. Will the freeze be there, or are they not going to commit it this time around? There it is.
Morten and Flobby putting the freeze down a little bit later than expected. The graveyard not getting full value on the left-hand side.
That might be the mistake that cost them here, committing that additional elixir there to that push. A little bit late, though, in this scenario, but oh no, they knew what they needed. They need to get it just in time, and there it is, the rocket.
Photo finish. And look at that, the right-hand tower of SK Gaming was down to 237, but they had two big spells, were able to take down the left-hand tower and seal the first game.
Just needing to get it under 432 HP. That's the magic number when it comes to lobbing out that rocket. They identified their win condition, they knew what they needed to do, and that is why Rocket, once again, is so potent in 2v2. Normally we see both players running. If you look at CRL Asia, that's something we saw commonly there, but now we're just saying just the one, just the nail in the coffin, truly a base race situation as both Hogs come out. But they're not faster than a speeding Rocket.
So we see the number of troops played for Allegiance way more, but the number of buildings played for SK much higher. So a little bit more defense on the side of SK, but the spell damage, and that was the big key, putting that tower down at the end. And I don't think Allegiance saw it coming.
I wasn't expecting it personally. I mean, we've gone that a whole game. Talk about the patience that goes into that. I mean, we'll see if game number 2 goes the same way, but there is something truly impressive but being able to just hold off. It's there the whole time. You're just watching it there in your hand. No, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to wait. Execute.
The same ban card still live. Remember, you will not see Fireball. You will not see Poison throughout this 2v2 set.
We are going to see Royal Hogs, though, coming out. And, oh, there is the answer, pulling them right back into that King Tower, activating it immediately. Definitely worth taking 600 damage on that tower.
Golem down the right-hand side, supported by the Witch. A change of tactics from SK. Allegiance looking so far fairly similar to the first game.
Fairly similar so far. We are seeing that Inferno Tower once again. It's getting very low, but I love this combination with the Ice Wizard, just making that Golem oh so slow, and he'll be able to clean that up with ease.
The Golemite's not going to get to the tower, but the left lane for both teams down under 2,000, separated by just about 50, maybe 60 hit points.
So far, neither side really overcommitting here. It's just interesting to see the different styles. We are seeing more of a classic quintessential beatdown coming out from SK with a little more fast-moving action now for Allegiance, having the cannon cart, having the Hogs as well. Not really seeing a big frontline tanky unit for them yet, but the Golem, how they play around that is going to be the key factor in this match.
Well, a little misplay there on the side of Allegiance, playing the Royal Hogs and having no answer for the expected building. We saw a bunch before. They did nothing with it this time. And again, the Royal Hogs just not making their opportunities on the tower.
This is one of the reasons we see Tornado banned so frequently in 2v2. It just gives you so many more options, so much more utility. Already activated the King Tower, stalling at the push with that Royal Hogs. And this is something that SK is just going to continue to do all game long.
The flying machine coming across, not going to get much out of that. Another Golem dropped in the back. Remember, Tornado Rocket still alive in this matchup, so we can get a decent answer to a big Golem push.
I mean, we're seeing an interesting playstyle right now from ALG. It's a more defensive style deck coming in. Uh-oh, that might have actually been a bit of a misplay. I'm going to hold that thought real quick. The Tombstone was there pulling the Royal Hogs in, and that Rocket not actually connecting. Maybe a bit of miscommunication with both the players. Both of them had an answer in hand. Both of them played it, but a little bit of counter synergy.
And now we have a Royal Hog push get all the way through onto the tower, saved by the Tornado, but the damage is done, down to 16-13.
So much more elixir spent than SK needed to in that scenario. That was an uncharacteristic misplay from them, simply a miscommunication there. Both of them had an answer in hand, and both of them used it. But in this case, that put them behind, and now we might not see an adequate answer. The Valkyrie is going to be here, but that's just going to be a lot, or a little bit of damage taken by that tower. The Magic Archer to support them, not going to be doing a whole lot because of the beautiful positioning of that Valkyrie.
But hold on, Paul, look at the left left-hand tower. The cannon cart got a lock. 732 to the left-hand side. Can ALG stop that cannon cart as well?
They need to watch this. They need to go in. The golem is going to be there as well as the tombstone to slow down these hogs, but they're looking to try and finish it up. No, a good hold, but now the golem is marching in for SK.
The golem making his way to the tower. The Inferno Tower getting a lock onto the golem, but now a nice tornado to pull it on the death damage away from the tower.
Getting that death damage out of range is so key. That will chunk through your tower in an instant. The Valkyries here once again pulling them back, and the log for good measure. Beautiful hold, but this tower is getting oh so low on the left-hand side. They can look to start to spell cycle this down with solid defense, and SK knows that they're making an aggressive golem push.
Royal Hogs just keep on coming. They never seem to stop, forcing the response from SK, but we have the Inferno Tower by Allegiance, keeping that golem from getting all the way through. These guys are really doing everything they can to stay in this game.
But we do know that there is a rocket somewhere in the deck of SK right now, which just means they have to get the tower down below that key threshold here. Can they do it? They're going to look to do so right now. Then that's just it. They don't even need it. SK Gaming takes it.
Morten and Flobby putting it down. They ran the golem deck. They weren't afraid of the rocket tornado combo. Instead, they played it themselves and really didn't even need it in the end.
They didn't even need it in the end. One little misplay, but it wasn't enough there. SK Gaming takes the set, looking so comfortable right now. Clearly, they've been putting in the work, putting in the practice. Overall, they look like champions.
And there's a question there. Was that Inferno Tower slightly misplaced? They did get a lock on the golem, but they had to use the tornado to pull it off the tower. Were they hoping to get it down a little bit earlier and move the golem over without spending the extra elixir?
That's definitely a possibility there. Again, at this level of play, one tile out of position can be the difference between life and death. Flobby and Morten, the Germans from SK Gaming, looking oh so solid. But of course, Rich, we're not done yet.
We are not done. 1v1 action on its way. SK Gaming just 2 one-on-one wins away from closing out the match, but they have to go through the dangerous Frenchman, Lupanji.
1v1 pits wit against wit, man against man, P.E.K.K.A against Goblin. Oh, that's a mismatch. Anyway, Lupanji and Loe, let's battle!
And now we have the chance, the moment, the opportunity for Allegiance to hold on, and they're going to put their faith in the EU champ. Lupanji, we have seen this man do work time and time again, but now he's going up against an all-star in his own right. Loe, one of the champions for SK Gaming, going to look to take him down a notch.
The German took third at CCGS EU last year. Let's take a look at those card bans. Fireball banned from Loe, the Cannon Cart banned from Lupanji.
Taking away the Fireball once again, not going to be in this matchup. And the Cannon Cart as well, such a strong card in the meta. You're talking about the accolades of these players. Number 3 at CCGS for Loe. We have CCGS, obviously first place for Lupanji. Both of these guys have faced each other in competition before, I'm sure. They've been playing at these highest level of competitions. We're going to see this now play out once again here on the big stage at CRL.
Fireball out for this game, for this entire set. And we just saw Allegiance do some good work with the Royal Hogs. Didn't win, but could Lupanji use those to his advantage?
Definitely a possibility here. We have seen Lupanji use those Royal Hogs to great effect. We saw him, I want to say dismantle. Dismantle feels like the term in his last set. And now we're seeing an interesting slow start, already cleaning that up. The Magic Archer being dropped here for Loe.
A Poison coming down, you know, often Fireball counter for Magic Archer, but Poison does the job just as well and getting damage on the right-hand tower.
So far, both of these players playing exceedingly passive to start this off, getting a feel, trying to get a read on their opponent's decks. Once they get that read, once they get that feel, they can start to be more comfortable with when they're playing and how they're playing their own win conditions, because they need to make sure that they have the counters in hand to deal with what their opponent is doing.
The Witch down, now the Bowler in the back for Lupanji.
The Bowler coming out as well. Some different decks that the Bowler has played in, Splash Yard being one of them, but the Hogs are now coming out from Loe. There's the beautiful Tornadoes. Looks like it will be Splash Yard coming in here for Lupanji as they are activating the King Tower. Still taking a lot of damage on that left Princess Tower, though.
Down to 1885 on the left-hand side, but Lupanji now orchestrating his own push in both lanes.
That goal, I mean, the Bowler, you have to talk about the Bowler. You cannot leave him uncontested. This guy soaks up a whole lot of damage in. He actually does chunk those big old rocks. They ain't nothing to blink at, they hurt.
2 full rolls on the right-hand tower. Now Lupanji takes the lead as we enter the halfway point of regulation time.
Lupanji looking very comfortable so far, knowing that Low Ice will be playing all around those Royal Hogs, having the response there. And watch now how Low Ice plays this. It's really actually going to slow it down still. He's not overcommitting. I like this from Low A. He's just putting down this tombstone, slowing things down, waiting for the opportunity, waiting for the opening of Lupanji's cycle to really start to dish out that pain.
He might think he has the advantage in double elixir time, but with the deck that is shown from Low A right now, you got to expect something big at the end, possibly a 3M near.
Possibly a 3M coming in as well. Good positioning on that Magic Archer, getting value in both lanes as the Royal Ghost is going to be here. But man, look at how fast we have that Valkyrie dealing with the pressure. And now, once again, the Bowler is here with the Royal Hogs. We're trying to circumvent it. There is the Tornado as well as the Ice Wizard. This is exactly how you hold the Splash Yard.
Bowler doing great work here in the second set, 1v1. Not going to get a chance, I think. No, one roll down. It does contact the tower. Now damage for both sides of Low A.
Damage for both sides here, but watch what happens. Oh, that was a nice positioning there on that Ice Wizard. Beats the second. If that Magic Archer had kept firing here, it will continue to pierce and damage the tower in the back, instantly shredding right on through the lines of Skeletons. But look at the value that Poison is going to be getting. The Witch is here, going to be doing some initial pressure here on the right, on the left, I should say, but on the right, here comes the Graveyard.
The patience of Lupanji as we enter into sudden death overtime, really not pushing the pace whatsoever, confident in his ability to win this game.
Low A has the poison to deny the big bulk of the value there on that Graveyard, but still one card being held for Low A. There could potentially still be something in the back pocket for him.
The Valkyrie trying to get across the bridge, the Witch and Ice Wiz stopping it in its tracks. And the Poison also doing work against the Flying Machine.
Doing work against the Flying Machine as well. We do have the Graveyard coming in. Maybe keeping up that pressure. The Witch and Ice Wizard, I should say, is here. The Valkyrie, of course, so adept at dealing with this Graveyard, but a few hits are still slipping through.
And the Bowler on the left-hand side doing some work there against the Magic Archer. The right-hand side for Low A now starting to get, now we have 4 Zappies in the lane.
And the Royal Hogs.
A split push from the Royal Hogs, a little change in tactics now.
Oh, but a beautiful Tornado catching so many of them right now, cleaning those all up with ease. Lupanji, the EU champ, is looking so terrifying right now. The timing on that was absolutely perfect. And look at the positioning on that Poison as well. Going to be getting some few hits in with those Skeletons. The Witch is there to follow up. This could be it. They're getting so close. No, the Flying Machine is there.
The Poison positioning was fantastic because it not only protected the Skeletons directly, but it also took down that Magic Archer, which was one of their problems.
That was such crucial positioning there once again, and every single time, good game being called by Low A. He knows he's in that crucial range where the Poison will clean it up. That is going to be GG. Lupanji taking game number 1 for ALG.
Lupanji again, a stalwart here in the 1v1 competition. And one of the big things to talk about is his choice of playing the Bowler and Tornado. You know, you look at the Fireball ban, probably expecting Royal Hogs. Bowler Tornado together is a fantastic combination. Now, some people look at that and go, well, that's 7 elixir spent to go against 5, but you keep the Bowler on the board.
And not only that, every single time the Hogs went down, there was an attempt at support, which means that he got more value than just the Hogs every single time. You know, Low A, of course, he's saying, I'm going to support my push, but he was also just putting more fodder into the Tornado, I want to say meat grinder.
Low A with the slightly faster cycle in his deck, but he could not out-cycle the Bowler of Lupanji, who takes the first game in the set for 1v1. Allegiance now looking to get the second game down and a win for Lupanji.
So now we do see, of course, the potential for SK Gaming to bring this back, reverse sweep, and take it in 2 sets. However, Allegiance now completely denying the sweep, which is good. However, there's still a bit of a road here. There's still a bit of a mountain to climb.
A little cheer for Allegiance Lupanji from the stands there on your board. A slow start here for both players. And a nice Ice Golem in the back just to cycle, get things started.
Just to get things started here from Lupanji. We are seeing the split Zappies as well. So there's a lot of potential coming out here. Low A probably going to be running a beat down here with this Night Witch. Could be Giant, could be Golem. We'll see what he opts to keep with this. But again, neither side just really overcommitting. 3M now for Lupanji. This is going to be Probably a bit more bridge spammy coming out from him, and we are seeing Loe with that golem.
Remember, no fireball at all in 1v1 today, so you might see that 3M get put up at the front of the board early as well. And keep in mind, if Lupanji wins this game, he takes the set and sends this match to King of the Hill.
He did that last time around. Can he repeat the process? King of the Hill, of course, where so many of these all-stars get to shine. The Hogs are coming in from him as well, splitting there down the middle. The Hunter trying to clean up those Golemites, but they are going to get the lock there onto the tower. And this is actually a lot of damage coming down the left-hand side from the Lupanji.
Loei now doing work on the left-hand tower. That thing is going to fall. Great support from the Lumberjack.
That Lumberjack doing work, and it's still alive. It is going to drop that rage, give a little bit of additional value there to that baby dragon, who's going to be chunking through that King Tower, already getting damage there as well. Loe, the right-hand tower for him, is starting to get low, and with the Royal Hogs in hand for Lupanji, he will look to capitalize on that. But what a great early lead from Loe.
And the Golem dropped on the right-hand side. 3M now trying to get there and stop it. One note for Lupanji, though, he does have significant damage on both towers. And there you see the Stray Musketeer, putting the left-hand tower now under 1,000 hit points.
But the Golem is going to connect here on the right-hand tower for Lupanji. Once again, the Golem, there's just not a really strong answer being utilized here by Lupanji as his right tower is getting so low. I think it might drop again. The Ice Golem there with perfect positioning, but the Lumberjack to follow up. This tower is getting so very battered.
The Zappies get down just in time to preserve the right-hand tower. We are in double elixir time, just around 40 seconds left in the game. Can Lupanji send us into King of the Hill, or will Loe force a third game in our second set?
Oh, we do see the Tornado here trying to pull back. I think keeping to one lane, the Three Musketeers, but the push is now coming in from Lupanji just the same. This tower is getting so very low, and I believe it may fall here. Want a couple more attacks, they're gonna get through, and no, beautiful cleanup there with the baby dragon. So the defense is real. The poison is going to clean that up, though, for Lupanji. We are going to go into overtime.
Sudden death on its way. Lupanji, once you think you have him down, and he pulls it out here as we get done with regulation.
And now he's essentially in the lead. This Princess Tower on his right-hand side has more HP. He's going to be more adept to deal with this, but a beautiful poison positioning, combining with the Golem push now for Loe. He's feeling strong. He's feeling in control. The bats are going to be spawning, keeping the additional pressure up, and the Hunter is there, but still, look at how close this Golem is getting to the King Tower.
Don't forget that King Tower already down to 2503. So really, Lupanji has to defend on both sides, but now Lupanji doing damage to the King Tower on Loe's side.
And we have the Golemite swinging here as well, chunking down the King Tower. It looks like Loe is going to just try and clutch this out in a 3-crown win, as we do see the push being mounted once more. What a classic combo. The bats providing that much-needed air support for the Golem. And the Nightwish is there just to back it up. We'll see what additional troops Loe will commit with this.
It is anybody's game here in the second part of our potential 3-game set for 1v1.
Lupanji is looking to close this out and take us to King of the Hill, and Loe is looking to reverse sweep and take us to game number 3. Can he do it right here? The poison, though, for Lupanji is chunking down the forces of Loe, but they are managing to get here onto the King Tower with the rage as well. This can be crucial, and they are going to continue to get those hits, and it's getting so very low.
Down to 774 is the King Tower for Lupanji. We have not yet in this league seen him up against it so difficult.
So difficult to deal with the pressure right now. Only 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock. The 3M is here, constantly splitting them, keeping up that pressure, slowly whittling down the King Tower as well. But watch this now with those Zappies just slowing down the Golem. So critical, but actually looks like you could see potential coup de grace on the right.
Royal Hogs getting through, taking the King Tower of Loe down to 1382. With over 1 minute left, you have to imagine that there is no way for both of these guys to avoid going down, and someone has to lose this game.
Somebody is going to lose. Only 6:15 remaining. That is 3 poison cycles, I should say. So Loe still needs to do some additional damage here, but the Bat's getting through on the right as well. So much damage being done for both sides. Less than 1 minute remaining. Oh no, the Golem being dropped at the same time as those Royal Hogs just might not be enough. Can they defend this right now? The King Tower is getting so very low. The Zap is there as well. The Mega Minion trying to clean this up, barely able to do so.
But the Princess Tower, the right-hand side, down to 303, down under 200. The poison doing a little bit more damage, getting it right there. Will it go down? That is it.
Loe taking it taking us to game number 3 here in our second set by the skin of his teeth. I didn't know if he was going to have enough damage there. The death damage from the Golemites, barely enough to take us over. That was the last tick on Poison. We're talking the difference of 8 HP, but that's what it comes down to at this high level of pro play.
And here's that Lumberjack. You know, you see it get to the tower so rarely, but when it does, it can chop it down so quickly. And then the finish on the right-hand side, both players barely holding on, the stakes so high. Lowe forcing a third game in the 1v1 stat, and now it all hangs on this next game right here. Can Lowe close it out for SK Gaming, or will Lupanji get that final key and send us to King of the Hill?
That's what he's looking to try and do right now. That is where we saw ALG succeed. They were able to find those wins in King of the Hill. They were able to find those opportunities. SK as well, though, they have a lot of strong individual players. Both of these teams, I think, will feel like they have a pretty even chance here going into King of the Hill. But we are seeing a brawl right now with these players. I'm so glad this is a best of 3.
Well, if you're Allegiance right now, you're so happy Lupanji is the one playing out there. Look, they have plenty of great players, but he's a guy who knows how to play under pressure.
Oh, yeah, there's a reason he's the EU champion. He's going to be representing that right here as we get into game number 3. This is going to be it.
And here we go, the third and final game of set number 2. Lowe at the top of your screen, Lupanji at the bottom. It all rides on this moment right now.
This moment right here, right now. Allegiance is fighting to take us to sudden death, to take us to King of the Hill, while Lowe is looking to put it away into both teams. Just chilling, just splitting zappies, just having a good old time.
Allegiance again in their last match went to King of the Hill after going down in 2v2 and were able to pull it out and get the victory on the back of Donkey Kong. Lupanji looking to create the same opportunity here.
Both of these players, you know, just looking to create some drama here, taking this to game number 3, you know, making it interesting, right? You know, that's what it's all about.
The E-Wiz down, the Bandit, and the Zappies. Looks like the deck coming together for Lupanji.
The deck coming in from Lupanji, maybe a little bit of bridge spam there as well, potentially a ram. Well, yeah, I think that's probably what we're going to be seeing here with this flying machine. The poison now coming out from Lowe as well, getting a little bit of additional control, a little bit of options here. And look at the perfect positioning on that, catching the flying machine all the way through.
A nice little free-to-play deck for Lowe so far. One that you can use at home to try to get yourself to this same kind of level. And he is looking to close out Lupanji right here, right now.
But he's going to have to deal with the split pressure here. This is what this is all about. You put your Dappies down in the back, you force your opponents to respond, and then you create openings, put pressure on the opposite side. Lowe, though now is putting down his own Royal Hogs, but the E-Wiz is going to be pretty adept at dealing with this, but still a lot of damage going through.
The Royal Hogs getting to the tower, taking it down to 1768 as we get closer to double elixir time.
Of course, the Valkyrie, traditionally a card that we see really good at dealing with that, but not really coming out here, and I don't expect to see this for the deck for Lupanji right now, so how he deals with those Royal Hogs is a good lesson for players. As you said, like if you're looking on the ladder, how he deals with those Royal Hogs is something that you all should take note.
No Fireball active again in this 1v1 matchup, and there we see the 3M. Looked like what was going to be happening, and now it's on the board.
Now it's on the board. There is the Ram as well, though, coming out now for Lupanji. The second the 9 elixir was committed there on the left-hand side, he's pulling out that Ram. The poison is there as well to clean those two up. Beautiful hold right now for Lowe, though, as he's just taken these all down with ease.
Lowe, the CCGS standout, who has some big-time wins over people like Surgical Goblin and Soking, looking to put one more notch in his belt here against Lupanji.
He's doing to do more than that. He's looking to just close it out. 2 games for SK right now, whereas Lupanji, there's a lot more riding for him in this situation. He has to win this game if he wants to take it to sudden death for his team. Lowe has a little bit more breathing room here, but you know what? Right now, with the way he's playing, I don't think he needs it.
Lupanji doing well against those 3 Musketeers so far, but the Royal Hogs getting through on the left-hand side, taking that tower down to just under 1,000 hit points.
When you add in the poison on the back of that, this tower is starting to move towards that crucial lethal range, and Lowe is doing this all while executing textbook perfect defense. He's only taken a few hundred HP of damage across both towers, and now he's bringing out the 3M of his own.
It's so hard for Lupanji to get these cards across the board. the Ram running right into the Zappies, running right into the Hunter, running right into the 3M. Not much place for it to go.
Well, it's interesting here, too. This is finally where we see the P.E.K.K.A come out. Traditionally, P.E.K.K.A used to deal with things like the Hog. Not really effective against those Royal Hogs, though, who were doing so much damage here on the left-hand tower with the poison there as well. That is going to be it. We are seeing it right now. SK Gaming are taking it here in 2 sets. They are taking it over Allegiance.
The sweep for SK Gaming, getting themselves into the win column. Really fantastic performance, taking down a guy like Lipanji.
What beautiful play there from Lowe, number 3 at CCGS EU, taking down that number 1, showing that on any given day when the matchup is right, when he's feeling it, take down anybody in Clash Royale.
And that's the beauty of this game. On any night, it's anyone's day, and today, it's the one for Lowe.
Lowe is just such a beast right now, showing up here. Didn't play in their first game here in Clash Royale, their whole first set, but either way, fantastic. We're going to shoot it over. No, actually, we're not. We're going to take a look at this replay real quick, Rich.
And here you see the Royal Hogs getting through, and especially with Fireball off the board, and with 3M and Royal Hogs, it's so hard to deal with both of them at the same time, and that's what Lowe did, kept the pressure on, and eventually took that left-hand tower down.
It's all about threat, keeping up the threat right here. Do I deal with the 3M? Do I deal with the Hogs? Where do I have to commit my resources? Not having Fireball there in this matchup was crucial because that is the card you often look to clean those 2 up.
And here we see Lowe with the slightly faster cycle in his deck. Even though he had those very expensive 3M, the rest of the deck kept it quick enough that he could make it trouble for Lipanji. Lowe, the hero today for SK Gaming, getting them the victory and moving them up the leaderboard. Let's take a look at the standings.
Let's take a look now. That pulls them up 1-1 right now. Just so close to that key 4th position spot. Them and Allegiance sitting right tight and close in the middle of the pack. We did see Team Queso, of course, getting that 2nd win there right up at the top. But, of course, it's only the first week. There's still a lot of room for these teams to move all around those standings.
Plenty of movement here on the leaderboards in potential, and you'll see more of it coming next Tuesday when we return for Clash Royale with the European region. We'll see you then. I'm Rich Slayton. For Paul Inverum Toddkill, this is Clash Royale League.
So many battles, so little time. Wow, Lowe really kicked some donkey there. Executioners have executed, flying machines have flown, and the P.E.K.K.A has done what P.E.K.K.As do. It's the very best Clash Royale players on Earth, fighting for supremacy in the standings. And though some have done better than others, a long road lies ahead. In case I forgot to ask, please subscribe to the Clash Royale esports channel and stay tuned for the very best in the game. This is the Clash Royale League.